Today we're going to be discussing meal prep and how to choose a method that works best for your schedule and your lifestyle. And everybody's is different, so your method of meal prep may look a lot different than my method of meal prep. A good place to start is by choosing a day or maybe a couple of days to get the bulk of your meal prep done. If you're somebody who doesn't mind eating the same thing every single day, then maybe you'll have one day of meal prep. If you like to switch things up a little bit, maybe having multiple days of meal prep is going to work a little better for you. The other thing to consider is if you're going to be prepping breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or which of those three that you will be prepping. If you're somebody with a super busy morning, getting that breakfast prepped ahead of time can make your mornings a lot easier, a lot less stressful, and ensuring that you're getting a nourishing meal at the start of your day. If you're somebody who doesn't mind eating leftovers for lunch, then you can cut back on your meal prep by not having to prep anything for lunch and just having those leftovers that you had for dinner. So take those things into consideration. Ways to make meal prep a little bit easier. Consider the tools that you're using. So maybe purchase a Instant Pot or a slow cooker. These things can make life in the kitchen a lot easier by minimizing how many pots and pans that you have to use and making cleanup a lot easier as well. When it comes to prepping food, decide whether you are somebody who doesn't mind eating the same thing every single day, and then maybe you'll make a big batch of chicken stir fry for your entire week, for example. But if you're not somebody who wants to eat the same thing every single day, another method you may want to use is prepping a bulk of protein, carbohydrate, and veggies for your week, but then changing up the seasonings for each day or maybe every couple of days. So prepare those foods so that they're super simple, not any seasoning or anything like that. That way you can kind of customize it throughout the week. Freezer meals are also super great, right? Something like soups or chilies, meatballs, casseroles, things that freeze really great, and maybe you don't want to eat every single day. Consider making a big batch of that and then sticking it in the freezer. When it does come to freezer meals, make sure you label these ahead of time or when you put them in, so that way you know how old it is. A good rule of thumb is to keep those meals for about 3 months before tossing them. So make sure you're eating your older meals first. Make sure when you are packaging them up to go in the freezer that you are sealing them up really well. If you're using freezer bags, trying to get all the air out, make sure that if you're using a container, you're filling that container up pretty full. A resource that we love, and Kate and I might have mentioned this to you already, is Cook Once, Eat All Week, which is a book of weeks of meal prep and kind of going back to prepping the food that I touched on before, where we're gonna just prepare really basic protein, carb, and veggie. This is where we got that suggestion from. And then preparing a different recipe throughout the week. So, you know, we're not getting stagnant, you're keeping things fresh, you're not getting bored with the foods that we eat. We love this book, it's a great resource. You can kind of customize it based off of how many people are in your household, and there's a lot of really great recipes there. So I hope you find this helpful, and happy meal prepping.